I had a phaser in our office here, but I don't know where it went.
Oh.
Like a
really?
TOS phaser or
Which
a TNG
phaser, yeah.
phaser?
Yeah, TOS phaser.
Oh.
Ooh.
But it's not where I remember it being. I have like a little model of the Enterprise up there, though.
Oh. Which Enterprise? TOS Enterprise too?
No, actually, it is TNG Enterprise.
Oh, the
Hold on,
D.
let me see it. Let me see if I can grab it. It's kind of high up. Okay,
Wait, what's the
it's high
TOS
shit, dude.
Enterprise?
It's just
wait.
that there's no letter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just NCC 1701. Okay, got it.
And
There
how
we go.
many major
Oh.
enterprises are there in
Whoa.
Star Trek canon?
Oh.
Is it a pizza cutter?
Oh,
See,
yeah.
it's D, so
Yeah.
it's,
The nacelles are missing. Oh no.
I know.
Oh, no.
My mom found it at a like a garage sale.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
And-
They didn't have the nacelles. with
Yeah,
it,
she was like, "It was $4. I found this for you." I was like, oh, "Okay, thanks."
Cool.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So now it just proudly sits up on top.
You could
of
take
my
it
house.
off the little thing, and it's just a saucer part. You know, like they had it separate.
I
Oh.
wonder if I can actually. Oh,
Oh,
it
God,
doesn't
you're
look
gonna
like it's
break it.
detachable. Oh, there's little
Well,
buttons here.
If you're angry enough, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's a way.
And if you're
Right,
angry
right,
enough,
right.
it also becomes a pizza cutter.
And if you're
Yeah.
angry, there's a good will hunting.
It's funny you mentioned pizza cutter because I did have an NC 1701D pizza cutter.
An
That's so
adult
cute.
themed.
Wait, an adult rated pizza cutter?
Yeah, I did have a pizza cutter, but it's somewhere. I think at my parents' house. I don't know where it is now.
No,
Wait,
don't we have it? So we still have it. I
No,
think.
the one we have is of the golden disc. The
Oh,
the
never mind.
Voyager
Oh, I
golden
thought that's
disc.
the one
Wait,
Yeah.
would it be the NC or would it be the NCC
I got it.
1701 or whatever?
There's the phaser.
damn.
Oh,
cool.
It's got the
Oh, I
Oh,
like
wait,
that
then.
design better because it's
For
like
those listening at home, we are looking at Jasmine's wonderful phaser replica that none of you can see.
Wait, I thought they were smaller than that.
the tricorder can come off, but I can't get it off.
Wait. The TOS had tricorders built in to their phasers.
I don't actually remember that, but this one does.
Oh.
Guys, I'm gonna ask something. I'm a question. Okay,
Okay.
bear with me.
Okay.
Do they make Star Trek like sex toys?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sure.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
They won't be like
Probably
officially
not officially
branded.
licensed, but
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think they
No, no.
I think I'd be interested in seeing a Klingon piece.
there's
We-
probably some sort of
Yeah.
ridged
Oh.
double dildo out there
Oh
somewhere.
yeah,
I
a
am
Klingon
so
double
sure.
dildo.
Damn.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can you put on a Worf mask or something?
Oh wow!
Oh
Too
god.
much.
Wait, who? Who put on a Worf mask?
Oh, come on, guys!
Come on,
Too
come
much.
on,
This is,
everybody.
this is a clean show.
Or maybe
This
a
is a safe
Picard.
show. This
Or
is a safe show.
can you guys put on Marvin? Can you put on a bald cap?
Wait,
Engage.
you have to pick one, Sarah. Do you want the Worf mask or do you want the bald cap?
Put on a bald cap
And you want the
and say engage.
but you want the crown of hair around the sides of my head. Though.
Yeah.
That's what
No,
you want. Yeah.
She wants.
That's
She
what
wants.
dads do.
She wants like a Klingon face, but like Picard's hair. You know?
or lack thereof. Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Data's contacts are the yellow contacts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We got a perfect mashup.
I feel like that
All
looks so
right.
sickly, though.
Yeah. Yep. But
Well, don't knock it till you
that's
try
what Sarah
it.
wants. So.
The perfect man.
Yeah.
Don't kink shame her.
I'm sure there's, what's that rule? What is it? Rule 34 or something?
Yeah, Rule
Yes.
34. It exists.
Throwing it back to the, what is it? What was the forum that everyone that's horrible? Is it something? 4chan,
Oh,
right?
4chan?
Remember 4chan?
There's like several forums you
Was
could
that
describe
bad?
that way.
Do you guys remember 4chan?
Fortune
You
is
say that
still
like
going.
it's you say that like it went
Yeah.
away. It never went away.
4chan
I just remember being
Very
like,
still
oh, this
here.
is, I think that's really bad. Like 4chan's like bad, right?
It's still very bad.
Like it's
There's
still
still
like,
plenty of bad going on at
Okay.
4chan,
I
as
just
well as
remember that when
plenty
I
of
was a
other
teenager.
innocuous things alongside it.
It's like
There's-
4chan.
There's horrible things happening on Twitter.
Yeah. It's
true.
crazy. You can just scroll through Twitter and you're just like, all right. Oh, hardcore porn. Okay. All right. And then you keep scrolling.
Oh, what's your
Really?
Twitter
That's on
feed
Twitter
like?
now?
Yeah. Ever since the Musk has taken over, the moderation on Twitter has been like next to none.
No, it's always been like that because like
Wait, wasn't adult
Twitter-
content
yeah.
always allowed?
Yes,
I thought
yes,
adult
yes.
content was always
but
allowed.
it's like it just shows
It
up
is.
randomly on your feed way more often now, I think.
Because like if you want to advertise your OnlyFans page, Dan, you have to do it on Twitter.
yeah,
And
that's
how
the way
you can get around it.
Now Threads.
And also, I heard a side thing that you can do, like a side hustle, is like if you want to do like the feet pics thing, you can do it on Twitter. Like,
well,
you would put,
Twitter
like,
allow feed anywhere.
You put like
Yeah.
your handle, and then it's like you can like.
but
use
then
that
do you
as
just
your
monetize
platform.
by utilizing Twitter or?
Yeah,
like-
that's how you like advertise because guys.
Oh,
will
well, then that's
search-
that's
yeah,
advertising,
not monetizing. Yeah,
but, well, yeah, but then you could. It's like because other platforms won't allow you to like
Post
Yeah.
pictures of feet.
yeah, and like advertise
Well.
yourself as like a foot goddess or something like that. Like your screen name would be like XXX foot goddess or something. I don't know, something like that.
Oh,
Anyway, this is what I've
Something
been
suspiciously exactly like that.
yeah.
Don't look that up. That's not.
I'm
a
sure
real thing.
everyone's already at the page now.
Look, we're in a recession and we have to think about other ways to make money.
I did it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got the thing off.
It's a little tricorder.
Oh,
Oh my god,
Oh.
how cool.
so
It, like, goes
tricorders
on
and
the thing.
TOS are built into the phasers. Interesting.
I don't remember that in the show, but maybe.
I mean, it
it's been
seems
a
like
long
a good
time
package.
since I've watched it.
Seems like a
Maybe it was just combined for the sake of the toy being cooler.
good.
Yeah, I mean,
possible.
definitely.
Well, Jasmine,
That's
welcome
exciting.
back to the podcast.
Welcome,
Thank
Jasmine,
you.
our favorite.
Welcome back.
Well,
for
wait, you can't say that, Sarah, because you say that about everybody.
Whoa,
You say
whoa.
that about everybody. You can't
no
say that
longer
to everybody.
Unification.
Well, don't tell anybody, but you're my real favorite.
Oh,
Okay.
All right,
On the
well-
hush hush.
Don't tell Scott.
Scott.
Certainly don't
favorites-
tell John.
Favorites can change in 4 dimensions.
or Morgan J, who we haven't seen in a million years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
Yeah.
we're back for Unification 2. Wow.
Oh my god, this episode is so different.
It was
than
it's
The
like
first one.
every
Oh my
like
God.
they got all the setup out of the way in the last one, and this one is just go, just do stuff all the time.
Yeah,
that's-
it was like the drop on a roller coaster.
It's a thrilling ride.
Yeah, lots of
It was a bit
action.
much. We should
There's
just
some
stuck
good
with
action in this episode.
There's
Yeah.
definitely like a couple scenes where I'm like, okay, this is like my highlight. So
There was quite a few. And by the end of it, there were quite a few wipeouts.
Yeah, this was these
Tons of wipeouts,
Romulans
actually.
Romulans getting wiped out.
Wiping themselves out.
I know.
So
that
dumb.
dang Romulan pride.
Well, Unification 2 aired on November 11th of 1991. Let's go around the sun like Spock would in Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, when he went to save the whales. Let's do the exact same thing.
Yeah, directed by Spock.
Yeah, directed
On-
by Spock, not Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, Spock directed it. God damn it. Get it right. All right, so November 6th, then fresh Russian President Boris Yeltsin issued a decree banning all communist activities on Russian soil.
Oh, okay.
That was a
Alright.
major development in the early 90s. On the 7th, the very next day, Magic Johnson announced his retirement from the LA Lakers due to his HIV diagnosis.
Oh man.
And then moving on to the realm of music.
Wait. I don't remember that. Did he retire? Did he retire just because he had HIV? Did he have?
That was,
I think-
yeah, like he
did he-
said,
he was,
well,
like,
first he
heavily
announced that he
pressured.
had it, and then he.
But didn't he have
yeah.
like good years ahead of him? Like, or was he already had he peaked already?
He announced his retirement like as like along with his announcement that he had the disease, and I don't know how much longer he or
He probably
like
had
what it took for him to come back.
Several more seasons in him. I'm sure.
I
Like-
think he's alive still, no?
Yeah, because HIV is
Yeah.
now a completely manageable disease. So it's
Yeah.
I just watched that
Right,
South
yeah.
You know
Park
the only-
episode.
As of
the
this
only-
podcast, he's
the
63
only,
years old, I believe.
You know the only STD you can't cure, right?
yes, Ricardo.
Is catching feelings, dude.
Oh, God.
Oh, Ricardo,
Sick burn.
All right.
sick romantic Ricardo.
All right, moving on into the realm of music. Prince was back on the top of the Billboard charts again with the song Cream, featuring his then new backup band, The New Power Generation.
Oh,
And then finally, let's finally do the movie thing. At the top of the box office was a film that was already in its third week of release. It was actually John Hughes' final film, titled Curly Sue. It starred James Belushi as a homeless man pulling cons with a little orphan girl who then get taken in by a rich divorce lawyer.
Whoa, this sounds...
It was poorly received by critics.
Oh, I was about to say, it sounds kind of sick.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty funny setup, but oh well, it's too bad. People didn't really like it.
I've never heard of it.
Me neither. Yeah, it's actually the first time I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, interesting. But that concludes our trip around the sun. And also, 9.
What?
That's the end of our trip around the sun.
I get it.
The trip around the sun.
I get it.
What do you mean?
I get it.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I get it.
It's fine. Move on.
Wait, what?
What's next?
Now we need to know, dude.
9? You said 9?
You're getting nothing.
That's it.
You're getting fucking nothing from me. Move on, or else we stop here.
We stop here. Let's end it. Goodbye.
I'm hanging up.
Well, before you hang up,
Ricardo turned off his camera.
before we hang up,
Marvin's paused. Oh no,
we need to talk about our sponsors, and one of our new sponsors is Ground News.
I thought you were going to say ground like meat or something. Ground beef.
Well, in a way, it does.
When are we getting ground beef as a sponsor?
Beef. That's what's for dinner.
Yeah, dude.
Well, in a way, it is like kind of grinding up the news because it makes sure it's in a more digestible format that's more factual. No,
That's
this
the word.
Oh
this
my
doesn't
God.
work. This doesn't work. Dude.
And
you
try to censor me, dude?
Into a fine paste.
Grind up all the facts into a fine paste.
Into a pate of facts.
But basically what Ground News is, it is a kind of a news aggregator, but what it really does is show you news articles from 50,000 different sources around the world, local, national, international. And it,
New York City.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll be like, this news is from New York City. Ooh, smells like rotting sewage in the summer.
It does.
Just sick bird New York. But you know, and then what it does is it then shows you how factual that news is, what political leanings they tend to have or not have, what state of sphere in the world they deal with, like are they local or are they international, etc. And it tells you who owns them. So you get to have all of this information about your news.
That's super important. That's the most important
like
one.
some big shot elitist New York company.
Well, that's actually So I was going through. Okay,
it's like the same 5 people.
Yeah, if you have the Vantage tier on Ground News, you can go into your My News Bias dashboard, and it's telling me all about the different things I do. So one of them is that, hey, your article bias, surprise, surprise, leans left. And your top news source tends to be from Reuters, which is a pretty
steroids.
Neutral.
You do steroids?
Which is a pretty neutral source of news. But also, if I look at the way all of my news sources come from, the majority of it comes from media conglomerates like Warner Brothers Discovery, the Perch Group, Reach PLC, Gannett. These are all like media conglomerates that own all of these news sources. And it's good to know where you're consuming your news, because at least that way, if you're wondering why your news article is written a certain way or it's not, it's because of stuff like this. And Ground News helps you get more insight into all of that. So if you want to try
useful.
Yeah. So if you want to try out Ground News, you can always just go to ground.news and you could just try it out for free for a while, as long as you want. But if you want to have like more specific things, like the ability to check out your blind spot, unlimited access to your My News Bias dashboard, which gives you an analysis on the way you read articles to see if you have any blind spots, and checking things about like global versus local coverage, stuff like that. You can always choose one of the subscriptions on Ground. They have Pro, Premium, and Vantage. Vantage is the one that gives you everything. And if you want a 15% off discount off any subscription you choose, you can always go to check.ground.news/newbie. And sign up for any tier. You'll get 15% off. So again, that's check.ground.news/newbie. NEWBIE. Get 15% off any subscription you choose. And also, we have our old mainstay ExpressVPN, because you want to make sure that you're not raw dogging the news, but you also want to make sure you're not raw dogging that internet, because the internet's
we're all about just stopping raw dogging in general.
No more dogging rawly. across the internet.
Cook your dogs, people.
That's no
We
Yeah.
can't stress this enough.
Yeah, I can't stress that enough, people. Don't eat raw dogs.
God.
The internet is a gross, terrible, dirty place with everyone trying to spy on you and take your information. So one thing you want to do to help make sure that your internet security is upgraded, one of them is getting a good VPN like ExpressVPN. And ExpressVPN is one of the industry leaders in their field because when they said they actually don't have any activity logs or connection logs, it was put to the test when the Turkish government tried to infiltrate them, grab their servers, and realized they can get anything. There's nothing on those servers because they don't actually keep any of that stuff.
What do you think turkeys? Do you think Turkey knows how to cook good turkeys?
No, ironically.
No.
Maybe one of them does.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're available all over the world, 3,000 plus servers in 160 locations spanning 94 countries. It's got an app for every device you can probably think of, and it actually works.
No,
streaming
dude,
services.
doesn't work for a Nintendo DS.
Oh, well, maybe someone can make it work. Maybe.
Yeah, I know the ExpressVPN. The engineers will figure out. They're pretty smart.
Yeah, and then it works on streaming services that otherwise don't work very well on other streaming services because they're always rotating their IPs so that Netflix's blacklist doesn't always work.
Yeah. So here's a thing. I'll tell my story that has to do with a VPN.
Oh.
As many of you know, I love Predator, the movie Predator, and its sequels and its prequels. Well, Prey is on Hulu. It was a Hulu exclusive.
So good.
Well, I have the one with the commercials, and I hate commercials, dude. So I was like, I want to rewatch it, but I don't want commercials. So I put on the VPN and launched Disney Plus, and Prey's on there on Disney Plus.
I see.
Without commercials.
If you go to England.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
if
I
you
watched
fly to England,
Yes. Allegedly.
and use their internets,
Yes.
Yes.
You can get the Hulu shows and movies with no commercials. So there you go.
Oh, wow.
You didn't hear it here, though.
Yeah, you heard it from Donald Trump, that piece of shit.
Yes, that's the one good thing he's done so far.
Yeah.
Let you know that you can watch Hulu movies on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
What if he's like a
the
tech
one
genius?
good thing that he
No,
did.
he's not, dude. If you want to know about Diet Coke,
He's like, of course
he's
I
your
use
guy.
a VPN.
If you want to know about Diet Coke and eating
And-
McDonald's without the
yeah.
buns,
Yeah.
that's
Oh my god.
Oh, I used to do that as a kid.
If you want to know
exactly.
if you want to know about
I did.
burnt steaks, you talk to that guy.
Well done, steak.
Well
Yeah.
done. Ugh, with ketchup.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you want to know about a good VPN, head on over to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. And if you sign up for 12 months, they'll give you an extra 3 months for free. That makes that whole package 49% off. That's a really
Damn.
good deal for a VPN of that quality. So again, expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. And if you sign up for 12 months, they'll give you an extra 3 months for free.
Classic.
You know, it's a slight pet peeve, but this is just my the way my brain works.
How many pets?
Just a few pets. It annoys me slightly that all of our other sponsorships, when we get the code or the vanity link, it's Newbie.
Yeah.
But ExpressVPN said Newbie Star Trek. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But it's not the same across all of them. And that like there's little
Damn
little
it.
gremlin in the back of my brain.
You
goes,
couldn't just tell them, hey, can you adjust it? Can you adjust it to just Newbie?
Well, at this point, we've been using that link for so long.
Wait. Well, how do you know that doesn't work? Because sometimes you don't have to put in the rest. You could just.
I guess
Oh,
we can.
no,
I
because
guess we've
they're-
never tested it, have we?
Well, what if there's actually was another thing that was already using Newbie? Maybe that's why.
That's
What do you
not
think?
hard
What do you
to
think it is? Newbie.
I don't know.
Newbie. Newbie Tubie. Newbie Woobie.
I don't know.
Noobs.
All I know is that this isn't as bad as my one copy of season 6 Simpsons DVD that's in the Homer head case.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I hate having one season that's in the stupid head case.
For people who don't know, every other season of The Simpsons comes in a regular looking colored box.
Well,
But see-
no, it wasn't quite like that. They had they tried to do the heads for a while, but they couldn't keep it up, and so it was just an inconsistent like blob in the middle of their releases. They released normal boxes later, but for
but
a while, it
not
was
of
just
season
stupid.
6.
Are you still rocking the DVDs?
Well, I mean, just the ones I have in my collection. So
From back in the day.
I've been getting rid of them, dude.
Oh, just getting rid of
DVDs?
them.
Yeah, you know
Like what?
I-
Like giving it to Goodwill or something? Or what?
Yeah, well, giving it to my cousin and my sister. You know what? I don't like the quality.
I mean, it is
Really?
480p, so it is low quality. But
it
you don't
angers
think they're
me.
going to be like vinyls when they, when you're like,
No. You know what? You know what's
because
you know what's
vinyls
like
are
vinyl?
good quality though.
Oh no.
Right?
But you know what vinyls are? Laser discs, which I still have.
Okay. So the laser discs are the vinyls of
Laser
movies.
discs, and also like my laser disc Star Wars is the original Star Wars, like without all the Lucas add-ons.
We saw that randomly while walking into a video store, and I was tempted to buy it because I
have it.
Yeah, because I was like, this is the real deal. This is like actual.
Yeah, we
unaltered
thought of
one.
you actually.
Oh, and not in a
did-
bad way.
Yeah, not in that way.
Yeah.
We were talking about
Every
you
other
about
time
this.
we are talking. Total
that's like
trash
one of the best
about-
releases available to consumers, like available to people right now, right? Like, of the old cut.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a higher res cut. I think fans have made like, oh, here's unaltered parts of the re-release, the remaster that's in high resolution, and they splice in the original stuff so that it's not covered.
Yeah,
but
there's like that infamous or that famous despecialized edition.
That's the one.
Some crazy guy put together real meticulously.
Marvin, maybe you could help me. I could digitize it using OBS, in my Laserdisc player.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we'll get it on. We'll get it on the digitals.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a potential project, but our current potential project involves Denise Crosby.
Ricardo, could you please tell us what happened in this episode?
Get pinched, nerd.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god. And Data's the one who did it. So that
You know what, dude? You know what this episode, if I'm going to start doing the thing again where I name each episode like This Is Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
All right, which one's this one?
So last week's was Picard and Data get what is
Blackfaced.
it? Blackface.
New blackface.
Get romp,
do blackface.
romp faced.
Romp face.
Romp
this
face
one
is funnier.
This one, I guess this one's a long one, but I have to go. Tasha 2.0 is Marjorie Taylor Greene of the Star Trek universe.
Oh my god!
Just fucking failed coup attempts, dude.
Yeah,
she's about as angry as she gets. She's very angry in the same way.
Yeah,
she's like she's portrayed as almost like comically like immature and incompetent in this episode.
Yeah,
that's probably one of the bigger criticisms I have of this episode. Is just that part. Is that like she seemed like such a smart, conniving character in the previous
she was like
episode.
She was introduced as like a mastermind in the shadows sort of type, but
and now it's just like she's like, damn it, God, it didn't work. All right, I'm gonna make a holograph of you. What? Oh my God, you got? I'm gonna get you.
Like watch me sit in my awkward office chair at my glass table while I compose my PDA.
Yeah.
And then talking about like writing, I don't know. Yeah, she threw that tantrum that was really strange. Like,
that's I found that unfortunate.
And was like, I like writing. I never get to write anymore.
It did seem strangely ahead of its time though to see like someone like drafting an essay like on a phone essentially.
I know.
It felt weirdly
on
modern.
Like your iPhone, you're like,
without
oh,
a keyboard too. She was just literally like typing on the phone. You know what too is my favorite is the data dig where he's like, well, maybe you should just do another job.
I laughed out loud. I literally laughed out loud. I just rewatched it right before this, and I was like, "Oh my god, that was such a burn."
He said it like so straightforward. Like you should just get another.
Yeah, to him because that's logical. That's not a joke to him.
You know what?
You seem unhappy.
It's right up there when someone advises you like you're venting about life, and they're just like, "Well, why don't you just quit your job?" And you're like, "Oh God."
Have you heard that theory where like for like Star Trek always like injects like futuristic stuff 10 years or 20 years ahead of its time to like brace the population?
I've heard that's like the Simpsons one where like the Simpsons predicts everything, right?
Yeah, it's like, but like the theory with Star Trek is that it's not like predicting the future. It's like, oh no, we have this technology and we're bracing the population for it to enter society.
I think I heard that with the iPhone.
Of like a Men in Black operation.
Yeah, like something like that.
Like I heard that they did that with the iPhone and like the iPad iPad, and I wondered if this was the episode people got that from, because it does look like they're on like some
I think
kind
we
of
touched on something like this.
It looks like they're in a BlackBerry.
yeah.
Yeah, it does look like a BlackBerry.
It's a government phone, you know?
We talked a little about something like that when we discussed like First Contact, I think.
They had iPads and stuff.
I like.
Well, I mean the concept of like aliens or like
right. Yeah, they
like,
have to
some authority figure seeding bits of info about what's out there to the populace.
And in this case, and then that government, they actually did know about other aliens now, but now they're being like, it's too fast. We have to do this slowly.
Too fast, too furious.
Yeah, just got reminded of it.
You know what? I like when Star Trek has those funny moments like that. Like when they're like, "Hey, let's not forget to have fun." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watched Mission Impossible really late last night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
the first one?
No, the new one.
The newest one.
I went to like a really late showing, and
gotcha.
I'm surprised I survived today.
Wow.
Yeah,
Seriously?
a really late showing.
You went by yourself?
No, with a bunch of people.
Oh,
But
okay.
to a late showing.
Not that I think you're the type of person that goes. To
He does go sometimes by himself.
I go all the time on Thursdays. Yeah, but this movie comes out on
I
a
go to movies
Wednesday,
by myself too. All the time.
Yeah.
I've never seen a movie by myself.
Oh,
great.
I also used to
In the
watch
theater.
movies by myself
Yeah.
all the time.
Anyway, sorry.
So I went with a big group, and it's the funniest one out of all of them. It had so many like funny bits.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
like things where like they're doing something and like they're like, oh my god, like this is absurd. How like this is. And they comment on how absurd this is. You know what I mean?
Is it
And-
like Mission Impossible 4 where like, oh, those fucking gloves aren't working. Oh, god damn it. We have to try to do this instead. And then like they're joking about it. And they're like,
yes.
Okay,
But,
okay.
But a lot of it's like that. And I loved it. Like there's a scene where
interesting,
they
I can't wait to
it's
watch that
almost
high.
like it's great.
I love it.
It's great. There's
Oh
one
my
scene in
gosh.
particular that I'm thinking of that like it's a bit that kept getting like funnier and funnier and funnier and like even they in the thing they were like, yeah, I know we get it, it's absurd, but like that's how it works. And I'm like, that's so funny that like I love that it makes you think like, oh, they're having fun, like they get
When they don't take themselves too seriously.
yeah.
Is this like Tom Cruise's last Mission Impossible movies?
Well, this was the next one's supposed to be his last one, and then they'll go on without him.
Oh, really?
But now
Without
he's
him?
yeah, for sure. And now he's kind of saying like, well, maybe I'll be able to do like cameos on the
okay,
on the
like kind of what they did to like Bourne Supremacy or not Supremacy, the one with Jeremy Renner, and then they were like, trying to do a spin off.
Yeah, but I think
know.
these will work because Tom Cruise will produce them, and you know, like he's good at that.
Well, I was gonna say I think it's interesting because the last few Mission Impossibles they've been like very serious. They were like, oh yeah, this is like this is like
this one is funny, dude.
That's good.
And I love it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think it's
I'm
good
sold.
because they know it's the whole thing's always been a ridiculous premise. I mean, same for Star Trek. There's a lot of things where it's kind of like, wow, this is really happening, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
So they just make light of it. But, yeah.
There's definitely some goofy stuff in this episode.
Oh,
yes.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so much
There's a lot of
goofy stuff.
in this episode. So it starts off and like Spock is like, hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, I'm here. And he's like, what the fuck you doing here? And he's like, I'm here. I'm gonna bring peace. You got these dudes that are fucking. I don't even know how to relate to it, but like it's basically like they're like, hey, some of the people here, they're really enlightened. They don't want to be like just dumb assholes, and they kind of want it to come out and like it'd be peaceful. Like basically they want to bring peace to both. Because the Romulans and the Capulets came from the same place, right?
Well, actually, can I go over this so I understand this correctly?
Yes,
the difference between a Romulan and a Vulcan and a
Jasmin
Capulet.
would know the best.
So I think in my mind, this is what I've come to figure it out. So the Vulcans are logical. They have the eyebrows, I think, that go like, whatever, weird.
Spock brows.
The Spock brows. Then
they have flair. They have an accent on their eyebrows.
Their eyebrows have an accent. They're logical.
They're always furrowed. They're always
and they have smoother foreheads than whatever. And then I think the Romulans.
Oh my god, you can't say that, dude.
Oh no, is that bad? I don't know.
That's incredibly racist.
Like once you start describing physical characteristics, it gets dicey.
I'm just describing the prosthetic that's on their face, clearly. Okay, so anyway, so Romulans, I think, they're supposed to be more emotional, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they have less of an accented eyebrow, I guess, or a normal eyebrow.
Oh boy.
And then
Holy shit,
I
dude.
think,
We're gonna get in
they
trouble.
have like, they
Sarah.
both have,
Her name's
they
Sarah,
both have pointy
and she's on Twitter.
They both Romulans have more like forehead stuff,
Oh,
like ridges,
Sarah.
and
I
then
think they're a little more ridgy.
Wait, so I want
and then
now.
the ears. They both have ears. They
Can
both
we-
have
that pointy
Now
ears.
I want to clarify, Sarah.
No,
is this
wait,
just
wait,
you
wait.
trying to delineate the physical characteristic differences between them?
well, physical and I said emotional stuff. I mean, they don't give you much. It's like one's more logical, one's emotional. Is there more than that? I don't know.
Well, we don't
I
see
don't
a
think
lot
there
of.
is much more than that, which is why I think this conversation's kind of funny.
And
No, but then also the physical differences you need to know because watching this episode, I was like, wait, is
They
he a
all have
Romulan or is he a Vulcan?
The only Vulcan
he?
is Spock.
Yeah, the only Vulcan Spock.
You can tell by their clothes too.
They look similar. You know what Jasmine knows what I'm saying. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Like,
no,
you have
yeah,
to know who's
yeah.
who, right?
This is a conversation that you're
Is
like,
this racist?
you know what I mean? Like they're just bad drivers. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It's funnier to say
It feels
it's
like that, dude. It feels like that, dude. It feels a lot like that, dude.
I'm just trying to understand how do you tell a Vulcan and a Romulan
They like beans and
apart?
rice. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They just like beans and rice.
One of them eats soup. One of them eats soup all the time.
Yeah,
They
that
both
phlegm
like soup,
soup.
dude. That's
they
the
have
thing they
a lot-
have
they
in
have a lot
common
of
is that they both
similarities,
like
too.
soup. They both
Yeah.
love soup.
Yeah. They
Well,
both
you
They
have
never
to
finish it. They
remember-
never finish the
In
soup.
clear
If you notice someone is eating soup, they never finish it.
Yep.
Ever.
Well, that's true. So am I on the right track, Jasmine? Is that
Yeah,
Did I
and
say
you have
something
to-
racist?
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, you
you have
did.
to just remember that, like, technically Romulans and Vulcans have only like separated as like tribes for like a few hundred years. It hasn't been like thousands and thousands
Yeah.
for them
really?
to
It's
like,
like
be
600
that
years or
different.
so, right?
They made it seem like it
Yeah.
was so long ago.
No, it's only a
Like-
couple hundred years.
And
like,
for the span of given how long Vulcans and Romulans live, that's
Mhm.
extra not that long. That's only like
That's
2
true,
generations.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a Tuesday to Wednesday.
yeah, like
but
it's
here's
not
the
that
thing.
big a deal.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's
Well,
the
it is,
difference,
but-
dude. The difference is just emotional. Like when one's logical, one's like
So if they're both in a room together and they don't speak, you don't know
you can't
who's
tell,
who?
dude. Unless they whip out their dicks.
I know the episode is
Then what
supposed
is
to have
the
been
problem here? Then why are we fighting? I don't understand.
because politics as usual. That's the main
Yeah.
reason. It like even though like I know the episode's supposed to have been inspired by German reunification and whatnot. To me, the way they talk about like because Romulan culture because I've seen
Romulans great again. That's really what's going on.
Yeah.
See, the Romulan culture seems very it fucked up. Like there's like a super rich group, and it seems like a lot of people live in poverty. And then
It seems like
You know,
America.
they all live
Yeah.
in their nice Art Deco doctor offices.
Who? The Romulans? The Romulans?
yeah, the
Yeah.
Romulans.
Yes.
Well, the Romulans seem like they have like a really like subjugated lower class,
Yes.
and then like a higher class who are the ruling power.
Where
it
the
seems-
Vulcans seem like they're like socialists, right? Kind of. They're
Sort
Bernie
of.
Sanders.
Yeah, just Vulcans kind of seem like we've gotten our shit
Because
together.
it's logical. Because it's fucking logical, dude.
It kind of reminded me of like North and South Korea. It's like because and then how they also claim like, oh, there's no way we can reunite.
Yeah.
Our cultural differences have become too much. That's what North and South Koreans say. They go like, oh, we've separated so much. That
Oh,
we
it's
can't talk
interesting.
to each other anymore.
And it's almost the same thing because they both have soup, but one is just water. Like North Korea is just water. They're
Yeah,
like- they're like, it's
one is a soup made out of the only 3 ingredients to have to work. Like I'm not even joking. Like there was a North Korean defector that made it to South Korea and then was describing the way like a fancy meal they would have when they're celebrating something.
Oh no.
And Koreans have this pickled radish called takwang, and they just basically chopped up takwang in like 4 different ways, and those were the 4 different feasts, like meals of the feast.
The Feast of San Gennaro.
With rice.
Have you guys ever heard of the seven?
Yeah, so essentially
feasts?
you're eating
seven
garnish as your main course 4 times.
Yes,
I don't like.
It's
I don't
just
like
in
that.
different pieces. It's just in
Skip
different
that shit.
shapes. Like
Have you guys heard of that Italian thing where they eat like all these 7 fishes of Christmas? It's like an
that's
Italian.
vaguely familiar. Yeah.
So
No.
we have a Marvin and I have a mutual friend that we used to work with, and he posted last Christmas. He did the feast, the feast of 7 dishes or some bullshit. I forget what it's called, but like, dude, it's like 7 courses, and I'm like, damn, you spent all day cooking, dude. But I wanted the food.
Is it like 7 different? So it's 7 different
like
types
7
of fishes.
entrees, bro. Like he had like fish,
Shit.
pasta, pizza, like 7
Damn.
big ass fucking dishes, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, I feel like the Vulcans don't do this unless you're no, the Vulcans would do this because they're logical and they're socialist. But the other ones, only the rich would do that.
The other ones.
The Capulets.
Whoa.
The Vulcans, I imagine, probably eat like monks. They probably like eat like very I'm gonna eat this plain fish.
This gives me protein.
Rice. Yeah,
this gives me all the proteins and amino acids.
Is that what they do,
the body
Jasmin?
needs.
How do they eat? What do they eat?
I actually don't
Soup.
quite know what they eat, but I do
Gruel.
think it is more like you said they would eat like monks or something, because I feel like Vulcans were the ones that like clung to like their religious roots. And then Romulans were like, I reject that. And that's why they like peaced
this
out.
is a religious thing.
Wait, so the Vulcans are religious? How is that logical though?
It's their it's not like, I don't know.
Is it like
religion's
a philosophy?
Yeah, it's like their philosophy. It does stem from a like figure though. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that's fascinating.
That's
an
news
interesting
to me.
That's an interesting like foundation to their logic, because it's like they start something religious, but it ends up with like a very logical conclusion.
Yes.
Out of like deifying a religious figure. That's interesting.
It is like I think it's some kind of figure. Oh god, it's been so long since I remember it. But like it does lead to it was oh fuck, I can't remember. But I know Vulcans believe in a soul. I don't think they necessarily believe like in a god. I think it started as there were gods, like it was a multi-deity thing, and then it kind of transformed into like, okay, we believe there's souls, but not necessarily gods, because they're super science driven, obviously. But
and the Romulans were like, fuck that. Like, we don't believe it.
The Romulans are kind of like, remember Cybok was like, no, screw this foregoing of emotion and all this stuff. Like, I'm going to break off and form my own group and we're going to have emotion. Yeah. It's kind of like that.
So Cybok
gonna have emotions,
basically did what the Romulans did, but centuries later he did it again, kind of.
Yeah. And I think for the Romulans though, like the added layer is the like they kind of like their society right now is kind of like fascist almost, like that super
and very
ruling
xenophobic.
class. Yeah.
Like they don't like it's like the thing that I think was very interesting is that like the little kid keeps showing up and he's like, look at this. This is from your Vulcan culture, right? So it's like very clear that they don't know anything outside of probably
they
like
say little kid, but it was more like a 20-year-old man.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
Well, for a Romulan, that might still be a child because they grew up differently.
True.
But
you
it's
know
like
what this
Vulcan
reminded me of?
propaganda he has.
Remember in Rambo 3, he goes to Afghanistan to help the Afghanis fight the Russians.
Anything about Rambo 3?
And then there's this kid, and he's like, "Oh, Rambo, I love fucking America, bro." And then he basically like is like just fucking clinging on to fucking Rambo, and then Rambo gives him like a little like amulet thing, and then the kid dies, and then Rambo gets vengeance. But anyway, I feel like they could have done something like that. Like, I wish the kid would have died, and like it would have enraged.
Oh, it activates Spock's anger,
dude. And he's like, you fucking bitches, and they're like,
oh my god,
and got mad at the end.
That would be amazing. That would be
Dayton.
amazing because it would be like Spock really struggling to withhold that human emotion.
Yep.
Oh my god,
that would have been a really interesting raising of because he does
that's a fun moment, but how does that fit into this plot?
Dan, you let him be angry, dude. Let him be angry, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe follow along here.
Let a player play, dude.
Okay.
Well, that's part of writing is also being like, what if that happened? How would that resolve? And then we would maybe
It's a character deep dive on Spock and
Yeah,
him struggling between his two halves.
I'm the big idea guy, and then you go into the writer room and figure it out, dude.
Yeah, true.
You're the guy
right
who
now
make a
because you're on
story.
strike.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to bring some
Not right now. Everyone's on strike.
No.
So we can't. I'm just gonna yell my ideas in the air, and you guys just
Shoot
think them.
this idea. I'm yelling.
Yeah.
Scab.
So this fool's like, hey, and he's like, hey, we gotta get you out of here, dude. And then he's like, plus there's some bad news. And he's like, oh shit, fucking Oculus Rift died. What's his name? What's that thing? Sarek. And
Oculus Rift.
Close enough.
That's
It's pretty close.
it's close enough.
That's pretty sideways.
I'm meeting
one.
with Ambassador Oculus Rift today.
That's the finesse you need. Ambassador in front of that.
You know what sucks is that he wasn't like, oh yeah, my old man died. Like there's so many words they could have used, but he uses his name, dude. Like,
well, that's on purpose.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
I know that's cold blooded.
Yeah. In Asian culture, you get slapped for saying that. You'd be like, you call him your dad. You don't fucking call him your.
I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
it's plenty of cultures where you get slapped if you do that to your own
my
parents.
culture as well.
You know what?
I think every culture other than maybe Caucasian.
Yeah, right. Caucasian. It feels like something like the Caucasian culture would say. Like, where are my Caucasians at?
Like American culture. It's
check in.
It's like one of my cousins married an
someone
Italian.
called their parents by their name.
Like Jewish Italian girl from Brooklyn.
Tim.
She'll like go up to my mom and be like, "Hey, Christine," and I'm like, "It's so weird.
Oh my!
It's so weird that you do that. I mean, we're tolerating it. We're fine, but every time it happens, everyone does kind of go, "Oh, that's a little weird."
I think
have you all seen
Persian
Across the
father
Spider-Verse yet?
Oh no, I have not seen that yet.
Okay.
No. Is that in there?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
All right.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it felt weird. It just felt. I know it was on purpose, but like that made me like it was an ick. I was like, ugh.
Definitely an ick. Yeah, and I think it does go. That little moment goes a lot to show about how he feels about his dad. Like he's on such bad terms with him that
you're meant to feel ick.
And so basically he's like I gotta get these people together. These people want to fuck each other, dude. Like they want to combine and like be one again. And these people are ready. And you got a lot of enlightened people here.
That's possible, right? A Vulcan could have a child with a Romulan, right? Like,
oh yeah,
and it would just,
dude.
If they're the same thing.
It's racist to say they couldn't, dude.
Well, okay. Given that, I would find it hard to believe that there aren't tons of half children already running around.
They're not half, guys, because they're the same people.
They're just different. Right? So
they just
there's no half.
Half Romulan, half Vulcan. Like
there's no such thing, Dan.
I think it would be the same as saying, I am half Korean, half Chinese or something. Like if you married,
like it's kind of obnoxious to be like, we're all the human race, Sarah.
Right. I think it's similar. It'd be similar to that because culturally you would be like, well, I'm half Korean, I'm half Chinese.
They're close though because they are the same people. They're just different tribes.
Well, that's the thing. Korean and Chinese also are the same.
But would you say that about someone from like say like North Korea and South Korea? Like that's not.
I think maybe. I mean, like I sometimes do describe that like, oh, my family is from North Korea,
but like
it's a little different.
They're not like. I mean,
would you say? Oh, is it okay to hook up with somebody from North Korea?
Yeah, but that's fine. But because the other thing, a reason I brought that up is because I thought that genetically they had separated slightly.
So you're backing yourself into a corner now.
No. I brought it up because I thought genetically. I thought they were like had genetically separated slightly, so that's why I thought so. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think there is some degree of genetics like separation based on the phenotypes on display here.
Yeah, and I thought also
they look different, so like slightly, but
like for all the crap we were giving Sarah earlier, she's right. They are they have differences.
I mean, they're subtle. I mean, a little bit more forehead ridges. I don't know. where that
we got to come up with a safe word, dude.
And a slight spoiler, but like in Star Trek, not Vengeance. What is it called? Star Trek Nemesis.
It's called Star Trek with a Vengeance.
And Star Trek,
it's a third one.
Star Trek with the Nemesis. They introduce the Remans, who are from the Romulan moon, Remus, and they are technically also supposed to be genetically similar to Romulans, but aren't, because they look. They look very different, like, if you watch that movie. So, like, I don't know what's going on.
Here's the thing, dude.
We don't know who's related to anybody.
Here's the thing, dude.
Anymore.
These are facts, dude. The Romulans are way more horned up than the Vulcans, dude.
That's true.
The Vulcans are like, we only mate logically for
how long is a Ponfar? How long do you have to wait for a Ponfar?
7 years, right?
7 years, yeah.
7 years. Okay.
Wait, what's a Ponfar? What is that?
Ponfar's mating season for Vulcans.
Yeah, they only fuck once every 7 years.
Do they all wrap into like a little ball, like snakes?
Like the snakes?
No.
Oh, is it like the Mormons? Where they balloon? Are they ballooning?
Oh my god!
Or are you soaking, or what happens?
Yeah,
no, they invite each other to their houses and chill, listening to music like dun 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 dun.
That's it over and over again.
Well, dude, in this episode, you know what? This episode's a free for all, dude. Let's just go crazy, dude. There's a scene where Worf. He's like, do you know the opera? And he's like, don't cry for me, Argentina.
Oh my gosh.
And he gets
that piano player lady's makeup design was actually very like unique and
very interesting.
Like, kudos to the department for coming with something that's
that
like
whole everything in that bar. It's like not even. It doesn't feel like it's from Star Trek. It feels like Star Wars. It feels like
it's like their take on a Mos Eisley situation.
But this one was real because
the shittiest Batman scene ever.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you my theory?
Okay.
My theory is that somebody in the makeup department or the props department, makeup department, knows somebody who's done a lot of cocaine because the piano player was doing cocaine, and her nose is fucked up.
It's just gone. It's nearly gone.
Yeah,
she looks like an elephant skull.
Yeah.
And that's why she has to resort to sticks now instead of snorting.
She can't use a straw.
Shit, look at that.
Yeah, dude.
That actually like plays perfectly.
Oh, that's awesome.
You could tell that I've never done cocaine in my life.
No, never.
And so that's crazy. Like that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, oh my god, somebody on the crew knows somebody who's done a lot of cocaine.
This may be unkind of me to say.
What?
This might be unkind of me to say, but no. But this character design also feels like a costume they could put on Bobby Moynihan on SNL.
Bobby Moynihan, I don't even know who that is.
Okay, Ricardo at least knows what I'm talking about. I've validated off of that. That's enough.
So then a lot of things are happening here. This podcast episode is already all over the place. So let's continue that. I want to talk about all the cool stuff, and then I'll let you guys talk about the cool stuff you thought. I love the bar stuff. I love the bar stuff because, like you said, it felt like it was. It felt like it was a different part of the universe.
And it felt like they were told, we don't have a lot of limitations for you in this set. Just have fun and see what you come up with. It almost felt like that. And like
someone's doing cocaine and they're like, four hands.
Yeah.
I mean, they use darkness to their advantage.
Yes. Because this is actually just a redressed cargo bay set. It's just the cargo bay.
Oh. And I love their idea of like a seedy, outer space bar.
Yeah.
With
and the way Riker rolls up and he's like, oh, I know how this works. And then
he was so
he definitely fucked. He definitely wanted to fuck her for sure. Well, he was like, I'll do that.
Dude,
I want to
think about it. You know any Earth music on your Earth keyboards?
Guys, think about this. 4 hands, 2 in the gooch, and 2 in the stooch. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of hand.
Yeah. And Riker's into that. Think about Riker. He's like, 4 hands, I could live with that, dude.
Yeah.
Riker's pretty open like that.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't care if she's got to be doing cocaine while we do it. And so I like that bar. It was different. And I like the 4-hand lady. And I like that look, she was hinting that she wanted to sleep with him.
Oh yeah, not more than hinting.
Yeah,
She was like, maybe that'll be your price to knowing what you want.
If you know what I mean. Also, I can't believe that they walk around with no money in their pockets. Like, you got to have a little bribe money, dude.
All the time. It's not a thing.
It's like the future. You know, I often don't carry cash on me.
You gotta grease up some palms, dude. I always carry cash.
Yeah, but what's the guarantee that you'll have like tender that they accept?
Dude, I have gotten cars off of tow trucks with a little, greasing of the palms, dude. So you always got to carry like a.
But everyone accepted USD in that situation.
Yeah, but he can carry gold or peanuts.
He's like a Ferengi man.
Yeah. What is the currency that
if he had a napkin, he would fucking be great.
Is it just credits? Federation?
No, it's that metal. Fuck, what is
metal gear.
Latinum? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Latinum.
Oh,
yeah. So this is a slight technical spoiler in the future because they haven't established this yet. They established this in DS9, but Latinum,
spoiler, dude,
is like a thing that can't be like replicated, but is a very popular, useful metal for things, and it can only be transported in gold. That's where they come up with the term gold pressed Latinum. And later on, it's their way of trying to retcon why
the Ferengi love gold.
For the Ferengi love gold, because it's a future where we could just replicate gold. So why would anyone fucking care? And it's because they were doing a terrible Jewish stereotype. That was why. But that's why they tried to retcon that, being like, oh yeah, this is a metal that can only be transported in gold.
God damn it, dude.
That's why the Ferengi love it.
And then speaking of Ferengi, so they get some info from the cocaine lady. Like, hey, there's a Ferengi here, and that's the guy you want to see.
The fat fuck.
Yeah, and the Ferengi shows up.
Ferengi has entered the bar.
Why was Worf even down there? It's not like he was there to like do it on the like he wasn't trying to be sneaky or like monitor.
They're taking shifts.
I think I know. I think he wanted to hear. He's like, if that lady does cocaine and plays music, she probably knows fucking Worfian music. That's why.
Right. Yeah, I can buy that.
So then the Ferengi comes in, and I fucking love this guy. This guy's funny as shit, dude. He's loud, and he's eating a bowl of fish, and he's like, we need napkins here.
Yeah.
And then I felt like he was almost gonna say, bitches leave, and then like RoboCop.
That was definitely the vibe.
That was the vibe, right? He's just laughing, and I love that fucking Riker just roughed him up.
Yeah.
I love it.
God.
I hate that scene because it's so weak. It's so lame.
I love it. They should have really kind of slapped him around a little bit.
He just pushes a fish on him and picks him up by the collar. That's all he does.
Ferengi are cowards.
That's also true.
Yes.
Yeah,
like, it does not take much to sway him. Like, all he had to do was be like, guess what? And the Ferengis crumble.
He's like, it's clobbering time.
Just give me one backhand, one bitch slap, please.
I did want that. I wanted him to just go, at least raise your hand and go, I'll do it, dude.
I would love Worf rough him up, and then Worf just comes up and punches him a little in the face.
Or like one gut punch. That's a safe like stage acting punch you can do. Like a gut punch. Give him a gut punch. And then
what's a good, and I don't know if they did it back in the old timey days when they're giving people like interrogating people, but like all you need to do is hit somebody in the dick, dude. If it's a guy.
God, I know. You just gotta do like a little nut tap, and that's it.
A little tap at him. Yeah.
And they're gonna be down, dude. They're gonna be like, my belly hurts. Oh fuck! I'll tell you everything, dude. I sold it to the guy down the fucking street, dude. But he caves and he tells them everything. He's like, I sold it to this dude. He had a feather in his cap, and he's down over there, dude.
So the macaroni.
Yeah, and so they're like, oh, cool. And so a couple things happen here. Oh, fuck, dude. We're like an hour in, dude, and we haven't even talked about that episode, dude. I feel like we haven't scratched anything. Yeah. So Spock is a halvesy baby, right? And he chooses to live like a Vulcan.
He claims he does.
Yes, he claims he does. And then he has this scene with Data where he's like, oh, like I look up to basically Data's like, oh, I look up to Captain Picard as how to be more human. That's what I look up to, And he's like, oh, it's crazy because like he really kind of reminds me of my father, and
Like
his father was really Vulcan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very, very.
The most stoic Vulcan he knew was his father. Yeah.
And he's like, that's crazy. And then they both kind of reflect on like that. Basically, Spock denies the half of his self that Data yearns to be most like, and like
the human side,
and both, and then Spock turns around and he's like, well, also you deny the part that some of these people really want to be like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're basically the perfect Vulcan right now.
Yeah.
I
love that scene.
That was a good scene.
It might be my favorite scene of the episode.
Yeah. It's great because finally the two analogs for the characters and the crews, because Spock, Data is the surrogate for Spock. Yeah, so they finally meet. They actually have their conversation, and it's interesting that even after all these years, Spock kind of just goes, I kind of ignore the human part. Even he's outwardly also saying that that's the part that helps me make decisions, though. Like he's doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, he like says human phrases. That. Like he's in denial about it. Like he can't help that he's using emotion all the time, but he's trying so hard. And you know what? That's probably a daddy issue. Yeah. Because he was like trying to be as Vulcan as his dad, and he's like, I have to. So he pushes down that human part, but he's like, he can't deny it.
Yeah, he's all horned up all the time. He can't deny that. Here's the thing about Vulcans. I feel like he's half. I feel like he's half Vulcan and half Mexican. Like half of him just wants to be yelling and be like, "God damn it, let's get some fucking Coronas, dude." And like half of him is like, "Nah, we got to be cool, dude."
That's actually a cool parallel because I feel like Spock's human side, he always feels so bottled up that it does want to just come out and like, sometimes he does. Like, I mean, I think I told you guys this like a long time ago when I was on this, but like there was like a moment in TOS where he breaks when it's like the emotions were running so high, and then he like, I won't say like anything spoilery, but Spock broke and he smiled and laughed at Kirk.
Oh, right. You talked about that. Yeah.
So it's like, so like emotions ran so high that he like, it broke and he was like, oh my God. Like, and he exploded a little bit. And it's like, that was like huge because also it makes like Leonard Nimoy made it look real fucking awkward. Like it was like so weird to see Spock smile.
Is that the first time he breaks emotionally outwardly in the show?
Yeah, I think so.
I find that interesting because in TOS, their first time they want to show Spock having outward emotion is when he's smiling or laughing. In the J.J. Abrams movies, the first time they depict Spock having emotion outwardly, he's beating the shit out of a small child.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
And in the second movie, it also reculminates in him beating the shit out of Khan. So it's like in the J.J. Abrams movies, his primary emotion's anger. Whereas I guess in the show, they're trying to imply that he's actually got a lot of joy going on. He just chooses to suppress it.
Well, there's a condition of why a smile broke out. So it's not like it's not. It was like it wasn't an intensely I don't want to spoil it, but it wasn't just because it was just pure joy. I mean, it was, but there's circumstances. He was drunk.
Fair enough. It was their Naked Now episode. Okay.
it was his Ponfar episode. I think.
Oh, okay. So well, that'll do it. Yeah. Okay.
So then they're in communication, and they're doing a lot of things are happening. They're like trying to set up this like vote so like they could all have peace. But you find out that Tosh 2.0 is really behind it all, and she's trying to. You later find out that she's basically trying to like go into Vulcania. What's Vulcan land?
just
volcano.
Vulcan.
It's just planet Vulcan.
Yeah, it's weird that it's called Vulcan and they're also called Vulcan.
Yeah, I don't like that. And so they want to go to the Vulcan land and take it over. And I like how this is why I say she's a Marjorie Taylor Greene of the Next Generation, because her idea is stupid. They're like, well, we're just gonna go in there, and then once we're in there, it's getting hard to get us out. And you're like,
that's literally the plan. Yeah.
But you're like, I mean, with enough time, like they could find you guys and then just kick you guys out. Like, it just takes time. And she's like, no, because we're gonna be dug in deep. It's like you don't even know that. You don't even know the planet.
I don't quite understand their plan. Is it like, are they literally going to like take over a building and then like hole up?
Yeah, he's like, we're going to the capital.
The whole planet.
What was your plan though? What was the plan?
With only 3 ships worth of troops, it seems like their only move is to go for some major capital. Or
I think they said 2,000 soldiers were on board, so it's
that's
not that many.
That's not many, dude.
Ton.
You don't take over a planet with 2,000 people unless there's a central place from which to do so.
Especially since Vulcan's like a very well developed. The entire planet is just cities. So
even from a good location, you can't take it over. Like they're like, okay, we'll come back when we'll fucking kill you all in a bit. You know, you guys have a good night's rest.
That's like the thing with their. Unfortunately, like it's another part of the thing where it's like the plan is not that great. Like Admiral Sela kind of just goes, okay, so we stole all these ships, right? These Vulcan ships, and that's why we're gonna trick them into going. And it'd be like, why would it matter if they're Vulcan or not, the ships? Because if Spock is supposed to be the one that's saying, hey, don't attack these ships.
Yeah, they just be Romulan ships and say like, hey, I'm Spock. These Romulan ships are peaceful. Check it out.
Yeah. So the whole plan would have worked without the ships.
Arc makes sense.
And then Riker beats up the Ferengi, and then he's like, and then he gets a message from Picard, and he's like, hey, don't go, like, stay where you are, dude. Don't go anywhere. And he's like, got it. So just go wherever the fuck I want.
I do appreciate that Riker's instinct like is very much fishy. Intact, and he's like, nah, that's bullshit. Fuck that.
That sounds fishy.
He's all and Worf was like, no, we have to stay here. That's what they told us.
The captain said we should stay.
Dad said we had to stay.
And he's like, Worf, shut the fuck up, dude, and just fucking push the buttons, dude. And they don't listen, and they do their shit, and they catch the dudes, and at the end they killed the 2,000 men. So like they're goddamn idiots, dude. They're goddamn idiots.
They didn't want any prisoners, so they were like,
but still, they just shows how dumb they are, dude. And
it's very like reminiscent of like really awful fascist regimes. Like that's just what it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And what's funny is that like while on the surface of the planet Romulus, they're kind of like they depict the people down there that they interact with. They all seem fairly reasonable, just normal people.
Just want to eat soup, dude. And again, in this episode, they get served soup and they don't even touch it, dude. Wasteful fuckers. And
they're like, we shouldn't talk here. And
it's more colorful this time. There's green in it.
Apparently, soup is always free in this this planet.
And there aren't any chairs anywhere.
No,
everyone eats standing up.
You must eat standing up.
Like every restaurant's a bar.
It's good for the digestive system.
That's true.
Yeah, it's healthy.
So, and then what's the other big highlight?
Well, they keep trying to like the thing that's ongoing is that Spock is with his friend Pardek.
Yeah, who's a traitor, by the way.
Yeah,
we knew like immediately it was the traitor.
Yeah. it was like that bit from the Tim Robinson show. He's like, who the fuck crashed his hot dog cart?
Everybody wants to know who did this.
Who did this? How about we just close our eyes and.
I liked Pardek's reaction to Spock, like just saying, like, obviously it was you. And Pardek's just like, oh, damn.
But I've been your friend for 85 years.
Yeah.
And this Spock's like, well, who else could it be? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's no explanation or anything. He's like,
I'm gonna go now.
Anyway. Bye. And then Tasha 2.0 is like, well, you're going to get a medal for this thing. And he's like, all right. Anyway, this is very anticlimactic. And then he just walks away.
He just kind of like... He's like shuffles off.
I did imagine in the back of his head he was hoping to do like a grand reveal, be like, it was me all along, Spock.
And then Spock would be like, what the fuck, dude?
I got you fucking Vulcan.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. He would have been like, are you kidding me, dude? That's a fucking good one, dude. I didn't see this coming. And then he'd have been like, yes, I did it. But no, there was no fanfare, so he's just fucking disappointed and went home.
Yeah.
And so another thing that happens is that they take him to the office, Tasha's office, and he's like, "This is our plan. Let me fucking monologue this shit." And she tells him the whole plan.
Villain monologue.
And then he's like, "And we're gonna get you to talk and say that you're in a peace thing, and then that's how we're gonna like infiltrate." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do that." And he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll kill you if you don't." And they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna kill us anyway, so just get it over with." And she's like, "Oh god damn it, dude! Well, I know, I'll use AI."
You know what I did like about that scene though is that it wasn't super like, well, since you're gonna die, let me tell you my plan. It was more of like, you're gonna be a part of it, so like I have to explain what you're gonna do. So it was like a little more organic than like, oh, I guess I'll just like brag about how awesome my plan was.
Although I guess on the other hand, that also helps make her seem even more like incompetent, because it's like, you're going to convincingly read this speech that I wrote for you.
He's such a good writer.
I won't kill you if you do.
I'll be your friend.
She's like, well, we'll just use AI to fake it. And then
I like how her reasoning is that, well, we would have preferred a Spock that could answer questions, but that's why she wanted him to say it, because otherwise we were like, why do you need Spock here at all if you have an AI thing?
Would he have answered questions honestly? And
that is another funny follow-up question.
It's also like, if you wanted him to ask questions, if you wanted him to just ask questions, just have a plant go, hey, blah, blah, blah. And then they have a pre-recorded fucking answer.
Yeah, because it's not like he's going to travel to a neutral planet, call a physical press conference.
Yeah, like who is asking questions, actually?
Yeah, who would be asking the questions?
Yeah.
Her plan is crazy. She has a crazy plan that is
just not... The plan does seem not very well put together.
No, not at all.
What is you doing, Denise?
And then she leaves the room, and she's like, "Yes, our plan's gonna work." And then their plan backfires because Riker figures it out instantly. Backfires, and then she comes back, and by this time, Data is like, and Spock are like, "Hey, let's we know their computers, so let's fuck it up, dude. Let's fuck up their shit." And they come in, and they have a hologram of fucking Riker, dude, with different hair.
It's a cowlick.
Here's the thing about Data is that isn't he recording 24/7? What he's
I was thinking this too.
Yes.
I was thinking this too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's like, why would being he says, I'll be more observant in the future, as though he's not like
that makes visual.
That was a weird line.
There's so many other flaws they could have come up with.
Oh, I coded it wrong or whatever. It was like, I'll be a more.
Like,
or maybe he did it on purpose. Or he's like, you know what? I wanted him to look goofy.
Yeah, I want Riker to have fucked up hair.
I wish. You know what? He was
the closest preset available.
Now I wish he responded. I wish he responded to Picard being like, "You didn't get the hair quite right." I said, "Well, yeah, I always thought Riker should have that hairstyle.
Or have him have the wrong voice or something, like somebody else's voice. Like
he's wearing like a Dodgers cap, you know.
Yeah. And or here's the other thing: he could have had another character that is not brave as like Broccoli Rob, you know.
Oh my god,
that would have been a fun.
And he's like, "What did you put Broccoli Rob here, dude? He's not a tough guy, dude." Anyway, so their plan. So they use holograms like fucking Tupac at
the Pro Console has Coachella. Like a mini holodeck in his office. It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
It can make like a cloak that conceals like 3 or 4 people, as well as 3 or 4 fake Starfleet officers, and
basically her office is Mysterio's costume.
Yeah,
from Spider-Man. Yeah. So they have the holograms, and then they're hidden, and then they come out of nowhere and beat the shit out of everybody, and then they're like, all right. And then I found it stupid that
well, first of all, it was stupid that they left without observing them at all.
Like, put a guard there.
They didn't leave one Romulan behind.
But here's the thing, dude.
Have cameras on.
Data's so fucking stupid, dude. Data is so fucking stupid, dude. He tells her the plan, and then he puts her to sleep. Put her to sleep, and then tell everybody the plan. Like he's like, oh,
he doesn't get to rub it in her face, though.
I guess so. He's like, we should escape using their tunnels. And he's like, well, anyway, I'm gonna put you to sleep. And like, just put her to sleep first.
I did get a very as a matter of fact, stupid Tasha 2.0.
Well,
This
yeah,
is how
like
we're getting
Marjorie.
out.
she's like trying to stoke like the flames of some like rivalry with Data in particular at the beginning.
She's like, this is the guy who outsmarted me.
And Data's like, oh, hey.
He's like,
Yeah.
hi.
Hey, I don't give a shit about you.
Yeah. You kind of look like the lady I fucked earlier. But,
God.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You could have said that, dude.
That was not Data's demeanor.
Could have been, though.
Oh my
You're just
God, I
inventing
fucked your
things.
mom, man.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh
God.
And then
That's like
I'm
one of the few
ashamed.
times in which you can legitimately just say that.
Like I fucked your mom.
and it's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
and she liked
Oh my
it.
God.
Oh.
and then at the end they're like, well, we gotta get out of here, dude, Spock. And Spock's like, nah, just leave me here, dude. Like, you know how like she said she was gonna kill me? Like, just leave me here, dude.
It's fine.
He's like, I'm gonna lead the Vulcan resistance.
Yeah.
In Romulus.
And then
Single-handedly.
and then the little kid's
I
like,
won't get assassinated at all.
he's like, thanks, Captain. And he's like, all right, all's well that ends well. See you guys later. And then they leave. And it's like, God damn it, dude. God damn it, dude.
well, they do the nerve.
They do a mind meld.
the
Yeah, they
mind
do a
meld.
mind meld. That's a big
he like
culminating
touches
moment.
his face. Does anyone else feel very uncomfortable with people touching your face?
I do,
Like that?
but I
Like that?
definitely try
Like a stranger?
to let that slide. Well, you have to remember he's not a stranger in this capacity. Like maybe to Spock a little
I
bit.
actually don't
Yeah.
want anybody. I don't want
Picard-
anybody touching
what if
my
Picard
face.
wanted to touch your
Well,
face?
yeah, that's true.
Like I
It's
don't want
okay,
Marvin. I
because
don't want anybody
Picard-
touching my face.
It's okay, Sarah. Picard gave his full consent.
To touch it, he said to
It did.
mind meld, but can you touch
Wait,
like maybe
Sarah,
your neck
Sarah,
or your
Sarah.
head or something?
It's got to be the brain. You gotta
Don't touch.
connect.
No, he was like touching his cheek. He's like,
like-
as
it's
if
like
a
it's
hand,
okay.
like right here.
He's okay
Is that-
with it, Sarah.
Is that
It's
usually
okay.
where the mind meld is done?
Oh,
Under
yeah.
the cheekbone?
No, it's
It's
a dick,
usually
dude.
it's usually like 2 spots on the temple and then somewhere on the cheekbone. I
Yeah,
feel
Oh,
I
like.
thought it looked a little
okay,
different than
so it's
usual.
official.
Yeah, he was kind
Okay.
of just grabbing his cheek. And I was
Can you
like,
grab
oh,
anything else?
okay.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would.
Maybe he just could sense
Yeah.
that was the one piece that Sarek was still part of.
Oh,
Very
okay.
Sarek was all up in the cheek.
Yeah.
I
Um,
love that scene. I wish it was like a little longer or they did a little bit more with it and not
Or
just
if-
like, okay, credits on top of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Or
It's
did
like,
you,
I
I'll give
love
major
it.
props to Leonard Nimoy in that one little moment. It's just like that's all you need.
Yeah.
That
You
little
could've said-
reaction as he touches his face. It's
He
like
could have
yeah,
said
that
Papa.
really
He
works.
could have said Papa.
They should-
I mean,
They should've said,
I like kind of the setup of, you know, that's where it ends, and I do like that it does happen silently, but I kind of think the last few shots are awkward.
It is
It's
awkward.
just like
totally
a single
awkward.
on Picard, and he just holds it for a while.
Yeah.
It should have cut to
Executive
like a,
producer.
yeah, it should have cut to like a wide, I think, and then you see,
Yeah, yeah,
because we already saw the.
Rick
We already saw the-
Berman.
Yeah, I
It's
wish
a
he would
bit
have
of an
yelled.
awkward setup,
I wish
yeah.
he would have yelled, "Con."
Oh my God.
Here, that's where he yells it. Yeah.
I know. I wish
Yeah.
they did it just a little differently because it's supposed to be such a powerful moment. Like it's like Picard connecting with his son, even though it's not his son, but
Yeah.
it's like
Right,
emotionally it's his son.
Yeah.
And Spock is getting closure with the death of his father that he never got to in person.
And Sarek is now present between both of them, whereas
Yeah.
before he didn't get the chance.
Yeah. He's
Now
in
it's
them.
really happening.
Like that
yeah,
could
they
be
just
such a
shot
strong
it.
moment.
They shot it really boring.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's unfortunate. The TNG unfortunately has to go through that a lot because they shoot it so fast. They're just like, we have the coverage, we have to move on.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're not allowed to like give
Well,
all the gravity.
Marvin, tell me this,
The pressure
dude.
was on
Your
for
theory
this
does
one
not
too,
work, dude.
with-
This theory does not work because they spent way too many fucking angles recording those feet, dude, in that one episode, dude.
No, that's
Well, in
that's
that one
when-
episode with the fetishist on, making
Yeah.
sure that happened.
When fetishists are on board and
Yeah,
they have a goal
He's
in
like,
mind,
we got to get 20
they'll
shots
plan
of the feet.
they'll plan that
Yeah.
shot for a week.
He's
and
like
then
Tim. He's like
execute.
Tim. How many different lenses do you have on your kit? And
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
he's like 12. He's like, bring all of them. He's like, but we
Well,
only use
and-
two. We only use two, dude. He's like, no, bring all of them for this one. Dude.
Oh my God.
There's
In
feet.
this case, they had Leonard Nimoy really limited time too, so
I
they
guess
had to
so.
really rush him. And I think
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy was taking he didn't even take any money. He took barely above SAG rate as a day player for
Yeah.
for shooting it.
Because he was like, what we're getting in return is essentially promo.
Yeah.
I think I also read that they shot most of his stuff for part 2 before they shot his stuff for part 1.
Yeah. It was shot all out of order, and I think they shot all of his scenes first. And the director, well, first of all, Leonard Nimoy actually tried to get his son to direct, but his son wasn't available for Unification.
Whoa,
Little
nepotism
Nemo? Little Nemo?
a little bit. Little Nemo.
Yeah, Little Nemo.
Little Nepo.
Finding Nimoy. But then
Finding Nemo.
but then it wasn't available. So then they had Cliff Bole, who's a Star Trek vet at this point.
Uwe Boll's the dad.
Yeah, the better Bole.
Yeah.
And
Is that
he
real?
was like,
Yeah, it's his dad, dude.
Dang.
But it was like really difficult because he was like, we usually don't shoot this out of order. So we had to like try to get everyone mentally like, what's happening in this scene? Right. It's this. We forgot. Okay, we're getting into it. So it was, I can see why. But I mean, everyone gives a great performance otherwise, I think.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, the weakest performance is Denise Crosby's. I think her
Well,
performance.
I agree.
It's not her.
Yeah.
It's not her. It's her character is weak.
Yeah, it's the writing of her
It's the
character.
writing
and
for her.
And then she has to execute it that way, where it's kind of just,
She was probably directed in a weird way to fit that writing too.
Yeah,
Was she told like, and also like jog up the steps ahead of everyone and like
Yeah.
skip around like your little girl? I don't know.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Like it felt like she was just inserted into this like weirdly. Like it didn't feel super tight.
But I also feel like they felt obligated to include her because she was a loose thread from Romulus that, you know,
that
felt
didn't
like
get to do a
Yeah.
lot
big
in
deal.
the last time. Yeah. Like when
Yeah,
she shows up
yeah.
in Redemption, it was kind of like, that's cool, but you don't get to do anything really.
So it
And
really
then-
feels like they were like grabbing at anything they could. It's like, Data, my nemesis. It's like, we beat you one time.
I mean, I kind of like the poetic angle where they are trying to now have her say Data is my nemesis. Whereas like, you know,
No, like it would have been fun if they just turned this into a running gag where she keeps coming back. It's like, Data,
Yeah.
you. And Data's like, what? Who?
Yeah.
hello, Tasha's daughter.
Yeah.
I thought Leonard Nimoy did amazing though.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I was just like enamored.
Yeah, it's like he has played Spock for so long that it's just like it's very natural as he does it on.
It was like he
there's
was
a-
just fitting right back in and it was so
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah.
This was also his last appearance as Spock until J.J. Abrams' Trek, right?
Oh, was it really? Even with the movie?
I think I read that on Memory Alpha.
Oh, okay, all
Oh,
right.
shit.
Yeah, maybe because the movie would have already come out by then. So yeah, that could track. Yeah.
Now I can't remember. Does he show up in other future series at all?
I don't think so, actually. From
No.
what I
Definitely
remember.
not DS9. Definitely not Voyager.
Yeah, Voyager, almost nobody shows up for.
Yeah.
Reasons
And
that you'll
Enterprise
know.
is prequel.
Well, yeah, Enterprise is just what. Yeah, so it must have been till J.J. Abrams. Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
So that's a long ass time. Like this is the last Spock you get for a spell.
Yeah.
Well, so that's interesting because then that implies that he's just on Romulus the whole time.
Mhm.
And then I
Ostensibly, yeah.
guess, and then I guess that does tie into the J.J. Abrams movie where he's like, Romulus was about to explode or like the sun was about to destroy it. So that's why he's so tied to Romulus in that movie because he's
I don't even
essentially-
remember like what he was doing in that movie.
Well,
Party.
basically, it was like, okay, the Romulan sun is gonna turn to supernova, I think, because it's dying. Like stars in general do,
Mhm.
and then but it's happening extra fast for some reason. But in order to save it, Spock had to put like a piece of red matter into the
I
sun.
remember the red matter, but I don't remember like.
God, I do
Yeah.
not remember this movie.
Yeah,
At all.
Oh, in
it's
the
like to,
J.J.
like-
Abrams one? In the J.J.
Yeah,
Abrams?
to like restart the sun or something.
He had
like
to
that.
compromise himself. Remember?
He had to compromise himself. Oh
Remember
no,
he-
I mean
he-
the plot of like what he's trying to help Romulus.
the time
for.
travel, the timey-wimey stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
instead
what
of
old Spock was doing in J.J. Abrams
yeah,
movies.
but instead of saving the sun,
Probably the same thing he was doing here, dude. Trying to a peace mission and he fucked it up, dude.
Well, he was trying to save Romulus from the supernova. It fucked up, and he ended up traveling back in time. But then that Romulan guy blamed him for it, despite the fact he was trying his hardest to save them
Eric
the whole
Bana?
time.
Oh right, yeah, that
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that all rings a bell. All right, enough of that.
Yeah, so
I'm talking about TNG.
yeah, but yeah, that was
Jasmine, what do you give this episode? You
Yeah.
go first. You're the guest.
yeah.
I would give it a 9.
Damn.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, it's finally all the Spock stuff, so that makes sense.
It's a bunch of Spock stuff. It's like some amazing scenes with connecting Spock and Sarek, and then Picard and Spock and Sarek. And I love Spock talking to Data about their different views on humanity. I love that so much. That's what I love Star Trek for. So this is
a
up
quintessential
there.
scene right there.
Yeah,
I like to imagine that happened because like Picard notices they're together and he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll go take my ears off."
That would be nice.
He's like, they're itching. They're very itchy.
It's like that scene. It's like the scene in Good Will Hunting when Will's talking to the girl, and then Casey Affleck goes, "I swallowed a bug." That way he could just leave.
Yeah. Well,
oh my God.
Dan, what's your score?
I already gave my score.
Yes,
Oh,
you did.
Oh shit! Oh,
What?
Damn! Oh,
You sneaky Dan.
Oh my God,
sneaky duck.
I
That's
got
what-
it.
Bitches.
As soon as you yelled it, I was like, oh my God.
Got it.
I got it.
Oh, great.
Oh wow, you
Yeah.
played the long con, Dan.
You long con
You
motherfucker!
got us. Oh
I'm
shit.
just a man of my word.
Yeah.
Oh my, you know what? It's all making sense now.
It's all
my God,
part
I
of the
knew-
plan.
I feel so stupid now. Oh my
Well, it
God.
just goes to show that I'm never listening half the time, dude.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, wow.
But
That's all
anyway,
it goes to show. Wow.
yeah, it's a 9. Like, there's a lot of dumb shit in this episode that I can laugh at, and I also really, really hate that Batman interrogation scene. But
Where is he?
Listen,
Like,
it had a good moment, remember? Because he was like, "Waiter, where's my napkin?" And then, like, after
when Riker wipes
Riker
his
fucks him up,
mouth?
yeah,
Oh,
wipes
no,
his
no,
mouth.
that moment doesn't work when the actual interrogation sucked.
Listen, he wiped his mouth with the space napkin.
It's true.
And then put it in his
Wasn't it
carafe.
his tie?
Was it his tie?
I
Oh,
thought
okay.
it was just a
Yeah,
fancy
'cause-
space napkin.
Yeah, I thought it was a
Everything
space
sparkled.
napkin.
Wait,
I
let me
don't
see
know,
it.
but
Where
he
was
did
that?
You're
reach
probably
like
right. You're probably
he
right.
reached
You're
for
probably-
something like very nearby, as though he could have gotten it at any moment.
Okay. It's also like a particularly spangled. What is it? It's like not a spangle. Like those. It's sequins. Yeah, it's like sequined. It's like a
It is a
sequined.
space napkin.
Yeah, it's a space.
Yeah,
napkin.
it's a
Yeah.
sequined space napkin.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I guess I'll just point out that whenever you see Data smirking, it's a very obvious tell that this is your fan service moment, guys. And that is when he nerve pinched Sela.
Oh, I was actually going to ask about that. So I was under the assumption that the only reason the Vulcan nerve pinch works is because they use telepathy at the same time, right? So how does Data do it? Is it purely physical? Like, do Vulcans just know exactly where to pinch? And
I think they just know exactly where to pinch. I don't think it's a telepathy thing. I think it's literally like it's a demonstration of their knowledge of anatomy to pinch your nerve that'll just make you pass out.
Okay.
Is that for real? That's not
Yeah.
real. It is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I had a friend.
Oh, you mean in the real life? I don't know.
Yeah. No, in real life.
so-
No, I meant in real
I had a
life.
friend. I had a friend in high school, and he had a place on his neck that if he touched, he would just kind of like give out and kind of just like
Oh shit.
Are you
just fall.
serious?
Yeah, serious, like so, like dead serious. And so my cousin dated his sister, and that's how we were close.
Mhm.
And then sometimes they would be fighting, the brother and sister.
Oh, and then he Vulcan
And,
nerve
she would just go boop, and then he would go like, yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the most
Yeah.
insane thing I've ever heard.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen instances
What
where, like,
the
pinching
fuck?
someone around the neck will make them kind of like,
What?
but it won't like knock them out. It won't make them unconscious. It'll just make them lock up into a position.
Now I'm
This
like-
knocked him out.
Yeah,
What?
it's supposed to be like so I just googled it. One of the Google searches is Vulcan nerve pinch real life was suggested. So
That's what we're wondering.
I'm sure many people have tried to see if it's possible.
yeah, so it is entirely fictional, but it's like fans have tried to explain it, and it's like a pressure point that
Okay.
it supposedly explains it.
Yeah.
They're getting a pressure point that makes you pass out.
All right.
This dude's thing was like, I think it was like a blood vessel or something that you just hit, and then like it just fucking he'd go out.
That's so crazy.
Wow.
But
Wow.
she would do it all the time. him. She'd be like, "Shut up, dude!"
And I don't want to talk to you anymore.
And just eat his fucking. And he would kind of like convulse a little bit though too.
Man, he's gotta watch out when he like washes himself and shit,
or
like,
when he's doing like rough sex, you know.
Oh no!
Oh god!
Oh,
if I was
no.
his sister, I would feel so powerful. Oh my god! Just like growing up with my younger sister, and when we'd get in fights and stuff, I feel like if I had that ability,
An
I'd
off
be
button.
like, God, fuck yeah! Like,
All right, I think I got two more things to say. One,
okay.
it's that I found it kind of weird the way Spock talked about Romulan culture. It's like there's some poor unevolved species that are comparable only to the very first Vulcans. Like
Well,
specifically,
that's why I was thinking like the way he's talking about it is almost like the way South Koreans talk about North Korea, where they're like, oh, they're so backwards and fucked up.
yeah,
and
like
they don't
he's
know what
talking
they're
like
doing.
he's essentially a missionary now.
Yeah,
He's doing that sort of thing where it's hey, I'm here to enlighten you guys.
Yeah.
so I think that totally comes from like Vulcans have that kind of air of superiority.
Right, and that
on
is
top
like
of it,
that's a criticism of theirs,
yeah, and on top of it, like Spock, I feel like also elevates his Vulcanness over like, humanity, Vulcan, like so it's like a
Okay.
double thing where he's like, these poor people don't realize how hard, like how superior Vulcans are, and how hard I try to achieve it because Vulcans are superior. You know,
That makes for a really weird mixed message. Potentially, I guess then, because it's kind of like he's not there specifically to just generally help them. He's there to kind of convert them to Vulcans, and that's
kind of like that. I don't think it's supposed to be like that, but I think that's definitely.
Yeah, I think they're trying to frame it as like Vulcan just is good. Like
yeah,
Vulcan is
unequivocally.
good, Romulan is bad, which is probably like a not that nuanced take on what's really going on, because like, you know, there's probably legitimately things to criticize about Vulcan culture, and
right, and you can point to the
Yeah.
like atrocities they'll commit like up in space with their warbird or with their with their ships and everything, but
Yeah,
then
they
again
killed-
the
they
people
just
on the ground that
vaporized
they
those
actually
people.
interact with,
Yeah.
they're just running their stupid little bars and
Yeah,
eating their stupid soups and
governments are not the people, right? Like that's
Yeah.
all acts of the government, the people in power. It's not necessarily what the Romulan people are going through. So
yeah, so I did find that a little interesting. It's just something to leave on the floor. And also, last thing, cowboy diplomacy is just a fun term.
yeah,
I like that term.
Big
I
stick
love
diplomacy.
it's
And I
such
like-
a Kirk thing too. Which
Yeah,
is why I
yeah.
love
the
it.
cowboy. Yeah.
And it
So
was a
that's-
brief moment of Patrick Stewart needing to be Kirk for a second. 'Cause he got to punch somebody.
Oh yeah, he got. Oh man, Patrick
got to
Stewart
really clock
fucking
somebody
He
today,
fucking
playing
loved
that.
it whenever
Yeah.
he got to punch anybody.
So good on him.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, what's your score? What would you score?
I'm gonna go with 9.5.
Oh.
I love that.
Pretty high.
It's weird because the first part of this episode, like the part one, I guess I
Right.
should say, was a total bust. Like I just like did not like it at all, really. And then this one I really loved. It was funny. I love the bar scenes. It was like different, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a fun episode.
Well, I
and
realized how much
very different.
I realized how much like the Fireworks Factory Part 1 was, because that episode of Itchy and Scratchy begins with Fireworks Factory sign like in
Yeah.
however many miles.
Yeah.
And it's just waiting, like it tells you what you're waiting for at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then you
Yep.
just wait.
Exactly. And
And
I
then
don't think
by
that was
the end of it, you're
best
just like,
way.
this better be fucking worth it. And then thankfully it kind of was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was totally worth it. I just think we probably could have had the part 2 episode, and that was probably sufficient.
Well, that's
but-
interesting. The writer for that so the previous writer for this was Jerry Taylor, and the writer for this the second part was Michael Piller. And Michael Piller actually
He didn't like it.
Yeah, he hated his own script, and he praised Jerry's script a
What?
lot. He
Mm.
was like, he thought part 1 was the superior episode.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
What
and
was
then
he smoking at the time? My goodness.
Cocaine, dude. Cocaine.
Yeah, he was doing
Yeah, I think-
cocaine. I
think
guess.
one criticism he had of his own episode is that it got like political again, and he was like, well, this is another political episode, which I disagree with. I like when Star Trek delves into like a political issue.
Yeah, I think the comment he
like,
made was like it was too similar to the Klingon politics again.
Which I think they're a different set of politics.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think I think it's also cool that this episode incorporated the Romulans, the Vulcans, humans, I guess.
The Ferengi got involved.
And then we have the Klingons.
And the Klingons,
there's tons of all
it finally feels like we're not just touching one alien culture at a time. It's like we're in a world of alien cultures all interacting.
And then whatever that bar piano player lady was, them, I don't know. But like it just was a bunch of different, it was just diverse, I guess.
Yeah.
And I like that. So that was fun.
Felt like a bigger world than normal.
Yeah, it did feel like a bigger world because I get it. The limitations of the set and the serialized nature of the show, there's a limit to how much you can do. But this felt way bigger than that. They felt like they had more money, I guess, to put into this episode.
Well, I mean, they're definitely going to push for more money when it's Leonard Nimoy.
When Leonard Nimoy comes,
right.
yeah.
I definitely saw the money difference for sure. It made a difference.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah,
Although
and just as a reminder, part 2 of the Unification was just as much a tie-in with the movie that was coming out around that time.
Yeah,
as part 1 was.
Yeah. But what's weird is in the episode they kept calling it. Even you just did it, Dan. They said reunification.
I know.
But the episode's called Unification, right?
Right.
Well, I think it's a double entendre. I think it's because it's a unification of Romulus and Vulcan, but it's also like a meta unification of TOS and TNG. So that's kind of why. And they didn't reunify. They haven't unified before. This is the first time. So I think that's kind of why they're doing.
So why are they saying reunification all the time?
I think in the context of their story, it would be like a reunification but in the case of TNG and TOS as shows, they were never really unified before. They had
I feel like the
re
is unnecessary. They should have dropped in this show.
I see where you're coming from. But it's like Spock keeps saying it just because it's like to really hammer in like, oh no, Vulcans and Romulans were once unified.
We are the same. Yeah.
We were
and we just need to
fucking name the
reunify.
episode that. Damn it. Like,
but that's what Mara's
choose one
saying.
or the other.
It's like
I
this
get
is
it.
Sarah's movie Star Trek vanity code.
Dude, pick one. Yeah, but I get it. Yeah, I get it now. It's clever, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's they're trying to make the title. They've been trying to make the titles more of like double entendre, like Silicon Avatar. It didn't even occur to me that the Silicon Avatar actually is Data, not the crystalline entity. But it makes you think of the crystalline entity too. And you're like, oh,
it didn't. It never occurred to me.
Ricardo, what's your score?
7.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
All
right, Ricardo.
Why so low?
Why 7?
Yeah.
I just like somewhere to go, you know?
Okay. All right.
Okay. You like room. You want to leave room. Yeah.
Also, I did 7 because Tasha 2.0 is a chump, and I like original Tasha. I feel like, then this happens a lot. For the listeners who have been listening for a while, you know this happens a lot, where I have an idea where it goes, and then it doesn't go that way, and then I'm like,
What was your idea of where it goes?
Well, remember when I said he gets really emotional at the end because he killed a kid?
Yeah, it's true.
And
Yeah.
And then that would have been crazy because then you would have seen Spock's. These episodes should work, and so I think this is my opinion. I think the episode should work and the show should work where if you didn't see anything, you'd just be in it and be like, okay. And having someone like that die and him be really emotional would have shown this is why Spock is so different than anybody else, because he's human and he can be taken by those emotions, but he chooses to be logical, but sometimes he kind of loses it, and that would have been crazy. But they save it for Zachary Quinto. So
I actually kind of disagree. I don't think every episode of a show should need to be self-contained.
Not every episode. I meant the show itself.
What is like
TNG?
Oh, so
TNG. I shouldn't have to have watched the original series to get TNG.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I should
see.
just get this and then not worry about it.
Well, for us who have never for me, I don't have all the heaviness of Spock. Like, I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. Jasmine's experience watching this show is like far different. This episode is far different than mine.
It was really like, I'm sure when you originally saw this, and if you saw the original series first, you were like, what the fuck? Like, they're gonna bring him in like he was, like, it was huge. But to me, like, yeah, he's Spock, and I know like pop culture references that I know he's Spock, and I've seen the J.J. Abrams version, but like, I don't have the emotional investment of that original series to be like, dude, I lived with him for my whole series there, the original one, and now he's I don't have that attachment, so
yeah, that's
I'm
kind
like
of a
Spock,
handicap
dude.
for TNG. I feel like if they had kind of been like, oh, like 6 years ago when TOS happened, and like let's look to Kirk examples in this episode, or like whatever, like kind of like build up some of the characters in just some little way and speckle it throughout, there would have been so much more impact through like seeing Spock.
But they were so adamant about not doing that for the longest time. So that's probably what. That's
a handicap for them, because then they bring in Spock, who's like, oh shit, like holy shit, it's Spock. And then, but if you're just watching TNG, you're just like, oh, I mean, we saw him, we heard his name one other time.
I mean, your guy. I mean, for me, I'm like, oh, that's the hand guy, the
the live long and prosper man.
Yeah. He's the eyebrow dude, like I don't know anything more than that.
Yeah.
Other than him being the eyebrow dude,
Yeah. Which is unfortunate because, oh my God.
Especially when Spock. when he walks out of the cave, it's like supposed to be this moment where he's just like, like imagine the music like being like, oh, here he is. And for me, I'm like, okay, like, oh, okay.
It seems like Vulcans are cold. They have like more layers that they put on, I think, don't they?
They are cold, yeah.
They do usually wear those big robes.
Yeah.
So
they have the shoulder pads.
But the Romulan like government wear looks a little better insulated.
Yeah, they're very they love their Janet Jackson shoulder pads and Romulus.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually,
carbon fiber
weird.
ferny pad.
The Vulcan planet's like super hot. So why do they wear so many clothes?
It's supposed to be hot?
Maybe they like being super warm.
Big desert planet.
Maybe they love we're
maybe they like the pain of it.
No. Well, if you notice, like Middle Eastern countries, like not just the women are covered up, but men are like they got everything a bunch of stuff in their head, and like I think it keeps it. I think it does help. I think it does help.
It keeps you like
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It keeps you sane. I would personally give this episode 8.5. I really like the episode.
Like Fellini, huh? You're a Fellini fan.
Yes, this is a reference. No. But I think the core of what makes it work is obviously Leonard Nimoy. I had not seen that much of Spock as a character outside of the TOS movies, because I haven't seen much of TOS in general. But
you make a good point, because I think that's it's the same for me, but even less so, because like all in terms of actual Spock footage I've seen of Spock being Spock, there hasn't been much of it.
Yeah, all of it for me is primarily from the TOS movies, and there's something about him in this episode though where it's like, I guess maybe because he's a little older and his voice is a little more gravelly, and like he has this like gravitas about him where he doesn't seem like he's acting. He just seems like he is a character. Oftentimes when you have like good guest actors come in, like the guy who played Timothy, the guy from MASH who played Timothy on the Half a Life episode, like he's like, this is a great performance, but I'm like very aware of the acting performance he's giving. Leonard Nimoy just seems like, oh, this is just Spock. Like I don't think of him as a separate character, and
he's
it's very
like one and the same. Yeah,
it's very embedded. There's no.
Yeah, he wrote a whole book about how he's not.
But then he wrote a sequel where he said he is. So,
never mind.
So the suspension of disbelief is strong as you watch his performances.
I wish the second book was named "Or Am I?"
So then my primary gripe with the episode is just the technical storytelling. I just think it's like not that great. She's not an admiral. Commander Seela's like, this is not written very well. She's written as kind of like a lackey. not like an intelligent scheming person.
Mhm.
So I find that a little unfortunate. But
She's Waspinator.
yeah. She's a Predacon essentially, and then she's failing because like every time she explained the part of their plan, someone just calmly responds, "No, we don't do that."
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not going to work, or that's
Yeah.
stupid, or you're stupid.
Why don't
or-
you just switch jobs? You seem unhappy.
I think the point was to elevate our heroes.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
that's
destroyed
true.
her.
So,
Like she
yeah,
they
was not a
destroyed
worthy
her.
adversary whatsoever. She was
Yeah.
just complete. They got their
It was
entire
just to get
plan
Data over.
Yeah, their entire plan got outplayed because they just went to a computer and reprogrammed some stuff. It just
Hey, here's
completely-
a quick question for you guys regarding that. You know that message on Spock where it's like a little bit of suspense. It's like, is it the fake recording or is he going to say something that's true?
right.
Yeah.
Is it them broadcasting like a camera feed of Spock, or did Data reprogram the AI to
I think
say
he reprogrammed the AI
that
Yeah.
makes more sense to me too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just
think
like-
he programmed it.
because it's probably just like a text string, and he just replaced the.
Yeah, exactly. That just feels like it makes more sense to me. Okay,
Yeah,
I just want to
yeah.
ask you guys that.
Yeah, so I think, although it would have been funny if they're like, "Oh, there's a handheld camera in here, Spock, just grab it."
Yeah.
it's like the fucking Dark Knight, and he goes, "Guys, this."
Oh my god.
He's like, I'm out of my word. You know what I was thinking? You know how like sometimes I like pitch my idea for who I would cast in the roles? If I was doing a TNG movie and I was doing like a crazy cast version of it, I would do Daniel Day-Lewis as Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh,
I
Because he
think
would
you
go
proposed
on,
this before.
yeah, and James Badge Dale as Riker.
James Badge. What is that?
I don't know who that is.
Daily.
I don't know.
James Badge Daily.
James
He was in
Badge
like The
Daily.
Gray, and he's in a bunch of movies. But that's how I
Oh,
would
okay,
put-
okay. I recognize it.
Daniel Day-Lewis would go all in on the like, okay, I'm French, but I'm also
Daniel Day-Lewis-
British.
Daniel Day-Lewis would be like, well, in order to get into character, I need a spaceship built. And I
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
figure
Oh
out-
no, he's gonna build himself. He's gonna build
Yeah, he'll
himself.
cobble it together out of
Yeah,
shoe
yeah,
parts,
yeah.
and then he'll figure out.
Or my other Riker choice, Danny DeVito. Imagine,
Oh my god.
imagine
They
Daniel
both have
Lewis,
Maggie
You know, that
Lewis.
would weirdly
Daniel
work.
Lewis, and
Yeah,
Danny
I can see
DeVito.
that.
Dude.
Oh my
Like
god. I
imagine
love
Danny
that.
No.
DeVito chasing all the women on every planet.
Exactly.
Yes.
He's out banging
No.
whores.
No, it's so Danny DeVito as Riker at Picard by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we have a
I
twins
would see that
reunion.
movie.
Yes.
Yes.
I just watched that
Watch
movie. Oh my god.
My favorite line of Twins is "Tonight is your night, bro. Tonight is your night, bro."
Well, all right. Unification II. What a crazy ending to the crazy Spock saga. Thanks for joining us, everybody. If you've been liking what you're listening to, and you like having Jasmin on the show, and you like that,
Woohoo.
maybe you can give us
Who
a
doesn't like
rating
that?
or a review wherever you are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, etc. You know what it is. Only if you want to. It's not a big deal if you don't. And also, if you ever want to email us directly, you can always contact us at contact@newbiestartrek.com. That's contact@newbiestartrek.com. This week's email has a very small video component, but I already clipped it out, so I'm just going to put it in our Discord and also put it in that other chat for you, Jasmin. There you go. So,
Okay.
the letter is from Chris, and Chris says, "Hey gang, currently catching up on the show after finding you on Instagram. I'm almost done with season 3, and I love your perspectives and senses of humor. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to the point where you all talk about the more Mary Colomini heavy episodes. This leads me to why I wrote in. I have a belief that one of Meany's earliest jobs in American media was as an extra in the video for The Warrior by Scandal. The concept, if you haven't seen it, is a bizarre rooftop dance Street Fighter thing. If you jump to 223 in the video, you'll see a referee scorekeeper who may be our transporter chief looking like an Irish mime. Love your show. Thank you for making it, Chris." So if I clipped out just the parts with Colomini.
So is this confirmed
Oh
or
my
no?
God.
Is this just
He
a
looks so
suspected
skinny.
appearance, or is this really him?
It's him. It's got to be him. He looks like a zebra because the referee lines are vertical instead of horizontal.
yeah.
Wait, this is really him?
Yeah,
I
it is.
think it definitely looks a lot like him.
It's him.
Well, if the lines are horizontal, he'd be a prisoner.
Oh, you're right. Actually, this is actually correct lining for.
This looks like body paint.
Okay, referee lines should be vertical,
but
it is body paint, which is why it looks like a zebra.
For the audio listeners, I'll put a link in the description so you can see it, the exact video. But for the video,
I feel like there's plausible deniability here. I hesitate to believe with 100% certainty this is Colum.
And I did do Google.
I guarantee it. I guarantee this is him.
All right.
It looks like him.
The Warrior by Scandal, IMDb.
Oh yeah,
maybe there's a thing. The music video.
It does look like him, but now I'm doubting.
But see, the cast run for the music video officially has almost no one in it.
Yeah.
So it easily could have been him and he's like uncredited, but it's like an early American role. Maybe we should tag Cole Meany and see what he thinks.
Yeah, I would love to hear his
We need to hear it directly from him.
But I would rather that because we actually have people who listen to us now, and I'd rather be sure.
Yeah, so maybe we'll tag Cole Meany and be like, hey,
I'm gonna guarantee that this is him.
Okay.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
It's the 100%
everybody.
Ricardo, the Men's Warehouse guarantee.
So you heard it here first. Cole Meany as the body paint referee from the Warrior music video. By Scandal.
If this isn't him, we'll get Cole Meany in here. We'll figure out a way to get in here and be like, "This is you, dude," and be like, "No, that's not me. Trust me, it's not me." And he's like, "Listen up, you piece of shit, dude."
And that'll be the whole episode.
It's not on his wiki.
We're all just like just yelling at him. That is you. It is you.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at
Oh my
it.
god.
Sign the confession, Meany.
Yeah. And then we rough him up. We rough him up like Riker roughed up that dude.
Yeah.
Throw a fish on him. Go.
Yeah.
Oh my
Tell us.
Yeah. And like wipe off the body paint and just throw a napkin at him. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the email, Chris. And thanks everybody for listening. If you want to see more things that we do, you can head on over to fugitiveframes.com. It's got links to all sorts of stuff there.
Or don't.
Or don't. Yeah, you don't have to.
We do a lot of different stuff. Check it out.
There's a lot of stuff we have to do. But yeah.
We do the same thing, which is talk on the microphone. That's all we do.
It's not right. It's kind of that in different forms.
We love to talk.
True. But you shouldn't say it.
All art is just humans flagellating. And
Yeah.
In one way or another.
Yeah. Next episode, A Matter of Time. I don't remember this episode at all. So we're all newbies for that one.
Oh, okay.
So,
A matter of time.
Jasmin, thank you for joining us for
Yes.
both
Thank
parts
you,
of Unification.
Jasmin.
It has
So
been-
happy to.
It was fantastic
It was
having
so
you
fun.
back. Yeah.
Thanks for dressing up.
Yeah, of course, always.
People don't. Maybe we caught the part of it early in the broadcast. Broadcast. What the hell? Recording.
Come on. Dude, this guy's and welcome to the
Don't
broadcast.
worry, listeners. We don't actually live broadcast to a secret group of people who we only like.
Yeah, but Jasmin is in a science and medical shirt. So yeah.
It's not like we have a Patreon, you know?
We don't. Not yet. We don't have anything like that.
Don't say things like "not yet,"
I know. There's no
like
there's
as
no-
if anything has been done.
It's true. Nothing is
There's
more.
no such thing. Everyone shut
Hey
up.
guys, hit me up on Threads or whatever it's called. Let us know if you guys want. Do you know a handle on Threads?
What's
What is
Threads?
your
us?
handle?
Yeah,
Do
for
you have a
us,
handle?
for us, for
We're
us.
just Newbie Star Trek. Yeah, on Threads. Yeah.
Hey, hit us up anywhere and let us know. Do you guys want us to do like a Patreon thing where like maybe we'll do a video podcast like where you see our faces?
Yeah.
Let us know. We'll do maybe like a monthly thing. Let us know if you're interested.
Yeah.
And if we get
Hit
enough
us up on
interest,
Threads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Only
is
Threads.
Threads?
If you don't have Threads, fuck
Wait, did
off.
you just say what is Threads?
Yes.
Oh, so
Jasmin.
Instagram.
It's
It's
Oh,
look at your shirt.
Instagram's
Look at your-
Twitter competitor.
Jasmine, look at your shirt.
Jasmine,
It's comprised of little threads.
Jasmine, you
it's-
have not been living under a rock for the last couple
Wait a
of
minute,
days.
hold on.
Jasmine,
Wasn't
explain,
Threads
explain.
explained
I'll explain.
using
I'll
the groundnews.com last week?
It was, yes. we
Yeah,
explained
here's the
it.
thing. People are
I
tired of
must have totally missed
people are tired of Twitter and that bitch ass Elon Musk. So they came up with a new Twitter called Threads, and basically it's a meta product, but it's
So it's
the
on
reason.
Facebook?
Yes, well, no,
It's
it's
from
its own
Instagram,
app.
technically. Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, so the
Oh.
reason it's called Threads, it's because everything is threaded together. So like Instagram, Facebook, and Threads are all the same thing. Let's thread it up.
And
It's
there have been
basically
other,
Twitter.
but there have
For
been
like
other.
a different.
It's an app.
It feels good.
And you
Yeah.
can sign up through your Instagram. I'm surprised if you haven't been on Instagram, it would prompt you and say like sign up for Threads.
Mine
I'm
hasn't
surprised.
prompted anything.
Oh,
Really?
well,
That's
It might be rolling
crazy.
out to portions of users at a time.
yeah. I think the
Jasmine's
difference.
not in the city, the main part of the
Jasmine's not
city.
included in the 100 million people that have signed up. I guess.
I think
I mean,
the
100
difference
million people is
also
just a
because
small
Twitter
fraction.
is having lots of ripoffs right now.
Yeah.
Like there's Mastodon,
that
there's
makes
Blue
sense.
Sky, etc. I think Threads' current success is because one, they have the power of all of Facebook and Meta's servers, so they can build their shit really quickly. And the other is that because it's just users from Instagram, it's so easy
Yeah.
to just port over and be like, oh, we're all on here now. And like,
yeah, you
it's
can
like the
just
same.
like sign up.
You don't have to
through
rebuild your audience.
Instagram.
They're like
Yeah.
building it through the existing Instagram audience. So it seems like it's okay. They said they're adamantly trying to make sure it doesn't turn into the bullshit of crap that Twitter is, where it's just toxic and awful.
But
Everyone's
that's just humans. How do you prevent that?
Yeah, you can't. Like,
You can't.
that's a silly thing to promise. Or
they're trying to, I guess. Maybe they're trying to moderate it.
They're not going to
know.
be successful.
Yeah,
Like,
it's it's
not
a
gonna
losing
work.
battle, and once it's successful, they'll start monetizing it and shoving ads down our throat, and it'll become awful again. But hey,
Yeah.
at least
Circle of life.
for now, it seems fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
check it out. Check us out on Threads.
Yeah, we're on Threads now, in case you guys didn't know.
But you don't have to hit us up on Threads. Hit us up anywhere you can.
Yeah, hit
email.
hit
you
us
said Threads first, Ricardo.
hit us anywhere you want.
yeah.
It's fine.
And here's the
Just
thing.
not in our Vulcan nerve.
We want to know. We want to know if we should do Patreon or an OnlyFans. What do you guys think?
Ooh, I'm Team OnlyFans.
I am too because I'm pro anything that has
Yeah.
nudity in it. So
yeah, and OnlyFans is not just for.
it's true. It is 100%
It's a
true.
normal site. It's
Yeah.
not.
It's not only
not.
for
It's for
boobs.
fans.
It's
Yeah,
only
exactly.
fans though. Only fans are allowed.
Yeah,
No one else.
yeah.
Mm.
We can lure people in with the
Also,
promise
let's be
of
honest.
maybe
Most
some
of you
nudity.
listeners already have an OnlyFans account, guys. So.
Wait, there are only fans on it? No celebrities?
No, only
No,
fans.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Amazing.
But let us know if that would be interesting to you or if would be of interest to you. Either.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know.
All right. Matter of time next week. Let us know, and we'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, everybody. Goodbye.
Let it snow and let us know.
Bye.
Thanks,
Take care,
Jasmine.
y'all.
Thank you again, Jasmine.